All right, our first question is from Rich Dubroff.
Hey, John, do you feel like your stuff today was close to what it was on opening day?
It was a little different today. It was more, heater heavy. Changeup wasn't great today. I threw some good ones, but wasn't quite as good as it was on opening day. Just kind of mixed it well. I thought just kind of mixed it well, kept them off balance. But yeah, still felt pretty good.
Next question is from Nathan Ruiz.
Hey, John, is what you're doing to start this year just kind of building off the end of last year? Is it two separate cases for you? Just how do you see the end of last year and the start of this year kind of blending together?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice kind of finishing the season strong and going into this season with confidence and getting back to who I am as a pitcher. And I just feel very comfortable right now with, mentality and stuff. So just try to keep that going.
Rock Kabako, go ahead.
John, what's it mean to this offense to have Austin Hayes back in the lineup?
It's great. I mean, when he's playing well, he does everything so great. Plays outfield well, has a great arm, steals bases, obviously hits homers. And when he gets hot, he doesn't really cool off, it seems like. So I'm excited to see what he has in store for the next month or so.
Dan Connolly.
John, your career's been under the radar. This Orioles team is under the radar, but you beat the Oakland A's, stopped their streak, 13, and you do so in similar fashion you've done all this year and in September as well, you personally. Do you think you're going to start getting some national attention, and do you care about that at all, or is it about time?
I could care less. I just like playing the game, to be honest with you, and I want to play it as long as I can. So as long as I'm playing, as long as I'm performing, I could care less what anybody cares about it.
Next question is from Joe Trezza.
Hey, John, you mentioned confidence. Is this the most confident you felt on the mound? And when you were, before the season, when you were looking at what the first month might look like, can you have imagined it going any better than this?
I honestly take it game by game. I don't really look too far ahead. I'm such a day-to-day person that, it never crossed my mind what this month is going to look like. So all I'm worried about is, pitching against the A's again next and going from there.
Stan Charles, go ahead.
John, I'm just wondering, in priority, is your number one priority when you go out there keeping the team in the game? And after that, how does getting a little longer in these games, does that mean anything to you? Yeah,
it definitely does. I never want to come out before the sixth inning. If I can make it to the seventh every time, I'll be happy. I just want to give our team a chance. When I go, 4 2/3 or 5 innings with 100 pitches, I don't feel like that does the same, as going 7 innings, even if I've given up 2 or 3 runs, just keeping the team in the game.
All right, that's all the questions we have. Thank you for joining us, John.
Thank you.
We can go ahead and get started. First question is from Rock Kabako.
Austin, Brandon and a lot of your teammates have talked about there are just too many guys pressing right now. That's compounding the problems with the offense. In your case, are you just feeling relaxed going up there and just letting things happen naturally for you?
Yeah, actually, I felt good the first couple of games in Miami, and then just felt like maybe I was trying to do too much or was a little bit out of control for some reason. Things were speeding up on me, and before my last at bat last night, I was talking to Cedric in the dugout, and I told him that I felt like, I just wasn't seeing the ball that well. And he's like, why don't you just try walking up to the plate a little bit slower and just all your stuff you do before, just try to slow it down. And I saw the ball a lot better my last at bat last night. And then I felt just very comfortable today. So it's definitely good to talk to the guys that are hitting 350 because there's something they're doing right. So yeah, he gave me a good tip.
Nathan Ruiz, go ahead.
Hey, Austin, what do you think a day like this can do for you guys, especially with how well the A's were playing coming in?
Yeah, it's you hope that something like this it kickstarts the offense and really gets us going. But that big inning, it just stemmed from us staying in the zone, and we were still aggressive. We were swinging. We weren't going up there to take, but we were just being aggressive to strikes. I think once we start doing that more consistently as a team, we're going to have more consistent run production. So hopefully we can carry what we did today into tomorrow against the Yankees.
Rich Dubroff, go ahead.
Hey, Austin, how enjoyable was it for you to play behind John Means today?
Oh man, he was really pitching in well and setting up his off-speed stuff great. So that's a great lineup, and there weren't a whole lot of very comfortable at bats for them. So it was great to see him pitch as well as he did today.
Next question is from Dan Connolly.
Also, just kind of following up on that with John Means. I mean, he's got a 1.5 ERA. He's looking like one of the better pitchers in the American League. Obviously, he's somewhat under the radar. Do you think he should be mentioned now in one, as one of the better pitchers in the AL right now?
Yeah, I think if he continues to do what he's done, I mean, even it's the last 3 years, because last year I think he had 1 or 2 rocky starts in the beginning of the season, but then to close out the year, he was just as good as he is right now. So, yeah, I definitely think he should be in that discussion. It's very consistent. Every time he goes out there, we're 100% confident that we're going to get a dominant start out of him.
All right, that's all the questions we have. Thank you for joining us, Austin.
Thanks, guys.
No, I'm ready.
All right, our first question is from Rockabako.
Brandon, do you feel like John Means is just picking up right where he left off there in September?
He was exceptional today. That is a really good lineup, and for him to have the stuff that he had and to get into the 7th inning, really impressive. Love the curveball today, aggressiveness with his fastball, good changeups again, but in, out, up, down, just really competitive. 2 hits allowed through 6 1/3. I know he's disappointed in his walks. That walk in the 7th was eating at him a little bit, but that was it was just a really great start that we needed.
Next question is from Rich Dubroff.
Hey, Brandon, have you gotten to the point where you expect him to look like this every start?
Well, I know that he expects a lot out of himself, probably a little hard on himself at times. But yeah, I mean, the way he's throwing the baseball right now, you feel good about your chances when John Means is on the mound, because it's a guy that's going to pound the strike zone and be really competitive and have multiple pitches to mix. So facing playoff type lineups, I mean, going into the 7th inning, it's he's just doing a great job.
Nathan Ruiz, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, you've seen a lot of baseball, obviously. What does it take to put together a 13-game winning streak, and what can it do for you guys to end something like that?
I don't know, but that would be nice. I was a part of a 9 game winning streak, and you just the confidence. You see how loose they are in their dugout, and rightfully so. That when you win that many in a row, you win for 2 weeks straight. You never feel like you're going to lose again. Yeah, I'd like to have that feeling someday. I'd like to have that feeling someday.
John Mioli, go ahead.
Brandon, you've been talking about the qualities John Means has had and developed, the pitch mix, the competitiveness. Who does that remind you of? Is there anyone you watch him that you see those qualities and you say that's like that guy?
Well, I was with a pretty good rotation in Chicago. The guys were really competitive. But yeah, I think John Means falls into those lines of a guy that he's facing some tough lineups, and to be able to put the zeros up the way he is, and get the swing and misses the way that he does, the way to keep guys off balance. Really made one mistake to Laureano, who's kind of a good player and ambush type hitter, but to go through these veteran type lineups the way he is and he's in just so early on in his career. It's fun to watch. So I don't want to compare him to anybody specifically. I want to be John Means, but I love the competitiveness in him, and I love how he he's a winner.
Stan Charles, go ahead.
Brandon, especially in light of what you had to do last night in talking to Wade LeBlanc, how special was it for you to be able to introduce somebody into Major League Baseball?
Very cool moment. When the score got to it where it got to, I was, pumped to watch him on the mound, and he didn't disappoint. Threw strikes, showed multiple pitches, didn't look nervous. I'm sure he was. Told Holmesy when I called down and to get him up, I said base hit here. We scored 2. Lowther's in the game, and I said, what do you think his heart's doing right now? I'm sure it's beating 1,000,000 miles a minute. But yeah, cool moment for him, and it's a nice way to break him in to the big leagues. And that kind of a lower pressure type inning in a winning environment, but didn't give him an easy part of the lineup also. So I was really impressed with his inning.
Nathan Ruiz, go ahead.
Brandon, Austin mentioned that, he really slowed himself down in his last at-bat of last night. What did you see out of him today, and do you think it's something that he can carry forward?
Well, he just shows that Luzardo's got a tremendous fastball. It's a plus fastball. It's got really good stuff. We knew that going in, and Hazy got on 2 really good heaters. It shows you the opposite field power he has. But the first homer in the left center and the second one is equally impressive the other way, or even more impressive for me. But yeah, it shows you that dynamic type of hitter he can be. And a lot of our guys can be when they just learn, to stay on the baseball and be on time with the fastball. I was really happy about our at-bats today. I mean, we don't walk much, and we had, that led to the big inning there in the 8th inning of us having really good. Ryan McKenna, a great at-bat. Franco, I thought took good at-bats. That's just a huge deal. Urias with a good at-bat there. Just to be able to pass the baton and get the next guy up. We haven't done a very good job of that, and that's something that we need to do. That's what winning teams do, is to keep the line moving, and make it tough, put pressure on their pitcher. And I thought we did that for the first 4 or 5 innings last night, and then again in that 8th inning tonight. So maybe we're on the right track.
Joe Trezza, go ahead.
Brandon, just one more about John. When we've spoken about him in the last few years, and you've talked about the things he needs to do to take the next step. We've talked about limiting the foul balls and improving the swing and miss with 2 strikes. Have you seen more of that this year?
Yeah, I do, because of the breaking balls. Because they can't just look high-low anymore. And now it's, I saw a bunch of dump-in curveballs today. And just to be a little bit more unpredictable and this pitch mix is going to create, guys not being on time. And, that's for me, that's the difference in this year and in the last couple of years.
All right, that is all the questions we have. Thank you for joining us, Brandon, and we'll see everyone tomorrow.
Thank you.